So a couple of weeks ago, I shot a wedding. I say a couple of weeks, it was like a week and a bit ago. But I need to edit it together. Now, I don't know whether it's just me or what, but I've been procrastinating. I've done the speeches and I've done the ceremony as standalones, but I also want to make like a cinematic piece. So I don't know how this is going to work. Also, you won't notice any difference. However, you might have seen a video I did on Start to Finish TV where I talked about how I was returning my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. But I've got another one. So basically I just had to exchange it because the microphone, which is that bit, on the previous one just wouldn't stay on if it wasn't plugged. So it would work when it was plugged in to the wall, like a power source, but when you try just having it like that, it wouldn't work. And luckily it was still under warranty, and because the place I bought it from, they just exchanged it for me, saved the hassle. I mean, they didn't ring me when it was delivered to store like they're supposed to, and they also put it into stock, not realising that it was an order. But, well, are we surprised? I've also received a bit of a scary letter from Peugeot telling me that there's potentially an issue with my bloody camshaft drive chain or whatever the fuck that means. So I've had to book that in for a recall thing. But I mean, could be worse. Could be an airbag thing. I don't know what a camshaft does. I presume it's something to do with actually moving the fucker. But yeah, well, at least it's free. So I need to find some good music, and I've been, because in there, as they walk down the aisle, like back down the aisle, they use this, which you might remember from Matilda, or Ice Age apparently, but I don't remember ever watching that. But I think it's too happy. Pretty sure all the other ones I've used, it's always been like Christina Perri's 1,000 Years, like a Piano Guys cover or whatever it is. But I don't know. And because obviously it's just for the couple, it's fine. I mean, about the copyrightness of it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it with this being such a tip. So I've got to do something about it. Also, I bought this like thing off TikTok Shop, which basically it's like a cage, like I've got my cameras in, but it's for this, and it's like magnetic, so the pole that my light sits on, I'm just going to put it on there, because why not? And obviously because it's the Osmo, it follows you, and you're just like, whoa, what you doing, bro? Who are you talking to? Wanna fucking go? Who are you looking at? Okay, so we're looking a little bit tidy now. These things, more valuable than gold. I bought these for £31 2 years ago. Now they are £64 each on Amazon. Yeah, that bit's a bit of a mess, but oh well, fucking who gives a shit. I swear all these vlogs are just me putting stuff on there. Oh, and if you're wondering why there's just randomly a hard drive there, that does my Time Machine backups. So that's currently running, just making sure that I've got a copy of stuff to there. Okay, never mind. I probably not going to be getting on with it. Purely because England won a match. I've had a couple of these, so Let's have a fun night instead. I went to drink the microphone. Okay, so I think I found a song that's gonna work. It is a cinematic, let's say, version of Shallow from A Star Is Born, and I think it's quite nice. So I'm gonna try and start piecing it together. I didn't realise that, because I was thinking it had happened, like this wedding had happened ages ago, but it hasn't. It was only, it'll be 2 weeks on Saturday, and I told them I'd be delivering it within 4 weeks. But they have messaged me this morning asking, "Oh, how's it coming along?" Yeah, and I've also shot myself in the foot because I said, "Oh, I'll have it done for you for start next week." Hey, every day's a learning day. If anybody's got any suggestions of what I could do with my dock thing, I want it to be underneath my desk, and I tried having it here, but obviously clearly these stickies aren't that sticky, so yeah, it's giving me issues. Also, you're going to think I'm a fucking idiot for doing this, but it has to be done. That's the whole point of me even buying a PlayStation in the first place all them years ago. Wow. 139 days, 9 hours, 15 minutes and 40 seconds. And it'll download on the 12th. So that's exciting. Okay, so it's a bit later on now. Time is 19:57. Ended up leaving it earlier on and come back to it about 7:15. I'm just under a minute in to this video, which I mean is not great. Okay, so it's now Saturday and I'm getting back into it. Last time you had to see me was Thursday, obviously, just seconds ago. The thing is, what I've noticed is obviously because there was a photographer and myself doing video, a lot of the times people are stood still, you know, because obviously they're having the picture taken. And to me, it looks weird because obviously it's like I did most of this wedding handheld. Stupid mistake. I am bidding on a gimbal on eBay, so if next time I will at least have a gimbal. But a lot of the times the people are just stood there like this, and it looks weird for video. That's my bad. I need to learn directing for stuff like this. The photographer I work with is like a professional, so obviously, but they were directing them for the photos, which makes total sense because obviously they're the photographer, so they'd rather them be stood still like statues because that'll look better because then they'll be sharper. I've currently done 1:45 of this edit. I think what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to do like the first bit as like the cinematic bit, and then I'm going to cut into, I'm going to either do Freed From Desire or Darude Sandstorm because they're both songs that they used in like parts of the wedding anyway. I just think it'd be quite then have that bit for the dances and the more energetic bits that were towards the end of the night, and obviously the slower bits, the cinematic bits earlier in the thing. And I also need to next time shoot in 60 frames a second or 50 or whatever, so I can slow it down, because again I shot it all in 25 and that's just stupid. I should not have done that. because it'd have looked a whole lot smoother. And also I've discovered that this wedding venue, the marquee that they used, isn't a permanent structure. I thought it was a permanent structure because the way they've done it, they put the bride and groom behind these bloody big metal posts. So that kind of ruined my shot at the back of the back of the audience. But luckily, towards like the end, the bride must have like taken a step back. So, but there's still like a post in the middle of them, which, yeah, I didn't notice at the time. But the way they had the altar set up, it wasn't in the centre. So, I don't know, it was weird. Or it's weird now looking back at it, and at the time it didn't even cross my mind. So, yeah. You know what? I've never actually considered putting my light this high up, but the way it makes, not that I'd ever be filming my setup, but I don't know, there's just something about it. It kind of looks kind of cool. You probably can't really tell on this camera, but woo, where he broke even. Okay, so it is now the next day, and I do apologise. It is what it is. But today, I actually have got somewhere, whereas on the previous days, I actually hadn't done much. So I just need to find, what's that? 208 to 20 to 223, and then a couple of seconds of bits there. But I've added the bit in at the end. So I don't know if I mentioned it previously, but basically what I'm doing is I'm having a cinematic part at the start, which is how it's going to be for the first for the first bit, and then I'm going to go into Freed From Desire by Gala, because they played that twice that I remember, so it's a song from their wedding, which is why I'm using it. And whilst I'm sat here, I'm bidding on a DJI RS4 mini gimbal on eBay, so fingers crossed. The only annoying thing is this page doesn't automatically update, so I have to keep going on doing Control R and refreshing it to see. So in an hour and 17 minutes, we'll find out if I manage to get this gimbal for like a really good price or not, because I won't pay more than 200 for it. I used to have a gimbal a couple of years back, but it was when I had my big C200 camera. It was from Zhiyun. And because I had the C200 and the way the Zhiyun one worked, it was like two pieces, so it never balanced right. So I got rid of that. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have. I used to have one even longer ago. I think it was... I know I once bought one of the DJI ones, like the proper big ones that were like £1,000. I ended up sending that back because that didn't work with the C200 either. The first one I had was when I had my little Canon 600D and 70D, whichever one it was. That was fine. But obviously that will work better with my Lumix cameras. Well, it will work with my Lumix cameras and you'll be able to like control it from it. And you would say, oh, it might make this little Osmo redundant. It won't, because I would not use this as a primary camera for a wedding, for example. Although I do wish I had used it to, I don't know, like stick to the fucking girders or some shit. It could have just been another angle, but I didn't. But I did use these little mics. Obviously, this is the replacement one because I don't know if I mentioned at the start of this vlog that I had to get it exchanged from Curry's because the little microphone wouldn't turn on. So, but some member of staff put it in to stock and didn't ring me until they were there. So luckily nobody wanted to buy one over the last weekend. So not really a shock though. No, I've never noticed that. So when I'm recording on here, it will automatically start recording on the transmitter. And then when I stop, it stops. I always thought this was just records constantly. I know you can like press the button to make it do that, but I'm also going to make a start to finish TV video about things I want to buy for the next time I do a wedding. Obviously that gimbal will be one, and there's also, so a lot of videographers use the Sony TX 660, which is like a little pencil. It's like a little voice memo recorder, and what they do is they get like a thing that they wrap around the DJ's microphone and then slot it in. Now I've seen on Amazon that they do that basic premise for these, so I kind of want one of them, so then I don't have to faff about plugging directly into the DJ's desks and stuff, which I tried doing this time, but I'd bought a male cable and I needed a female cable, because of course I did, but that's a bit transphobic, so yeah. I'll come back to you the next time you see me. There will be a complete edit. It won't be colour graded or anything, but it'll have all the clips in place. So you're not gonna be able, I won't be able to do like whoosh transitions with this camera, will I? Because it'll just fall in my face. What a shame. You fucking knob. Well, it certainly fucking went up in the last few fucking seconds. Fucking banjoed. Now, I typically don't do eBay auctions. I typically do buy it now and that's it. But how in the last 3 seconds can somebody put a bid in? I would not be surprised if the people who have these, because nobody, bear in mind, I've been bidding on it since Thursday. Nobody bid on it until this morning. So it was like 135 this morning. And then literally in the last, so a couple of hours ago, somebody did it up. And then I put it to 195, which is when it was 165. And then somebody did it in the last fucking 10 seconds. I would not be surprised if they got, say, a family member to do it, or a friend or whatever, you know, just to do it at the last, yeah. But I've won it, 200 quid, plus 9 quid postage. And that is Apple Pay, £209.95. That's done, that's paid for. Also, you might have seen that there were one underneath that I declined an offer on for like 120 quid. The reason I declined the offer on that was because it was from America. So it was, I think it worked out like 120 odd quid for the thing and then 60 quid postage. But then you have to pay import duty on that, which is like so many percent. So it just still probably cost me more than what that one did. And also, with it being an American one, you don't know if it'll even work anyway, because obviously software limitations and shit like that, so it just wasn't worth the risk. I'd rather get it from somebody from England. That person was down near London way, I think, from the name of the place on the, what's the name, so that's good. Also, I did say I won't come back to this until it was complete. I have now completed it. I've done a colour grade. I've had a tweak with the sound, make it sound better, and all I need to do now is some titles, which I've just, well, before I started watching that, before it finished, I downloaded some Mogarts from a website, and after what feels like forever, it's finally coming to a close. Okay, so as that's rendering out now in the background, I am going to end this vlog here. I know it's been a long one, but if you did enjoy seeing the behind the scenes of it, be sure to let me know by leaving a like on the video, and let me know in the comments what you would have done differently. You'd have probably done it in one sitting, but all that's left to do now is I will upload it to Google Drive, and I think I might also upload it to YouTube and list it on my portfolio page, just so if they want to watch it on the TV, or it'll just be a case of them adding it to a playlist, and then they'll be able to access that with it being unlisted. That's what I did with one of the family members' ones who I did a wedding video for. Obviously, if they want to download it, then they can use the one from Google Drive, which just YouTube's much easier to play. That laptop sounds like it's about to take off. I don't know why, because it's a MacBook Pro, so it shouldn't do that. But it is also an M1 one. It's been a bit of an interesting one, to say the least, because I'm pretty sure I started it on Wednesday. That's gonna, it sounds like it's proper gonna explode. Can you hear that? Can you hear it? That's ridiculous. And to be fair, in the time it's taken me to record this clip, so 1 minute 20, so let's say 1 minute 20, let's call it a minute and a half, that's done. That's mental. The fact it's probably going to take me about fucking 3 hours to upload it is quite mental. Also, just want to interject into this vlog. I've said about, I'd uploaded it to YouTube. Heard back from the bride, and she loves it, so that's a weight off my shoulders at least, because obviously I've been putting it off, and then I've got round to getting it finished today, and that fear and dread that you have when you're delivering something like this, it's immense, because obviously it's somebody's biggest day of their lives, and the fact that they like it is really good. I mean, to be fair, it'd have to have been shit for it to turn around and go, the fuck? But yeah, that's made me feel good at least, so yeah. But thank you for watching this video. I've been Ben, and I'll see you in the next one.